As a father, the immigration policies proposed by the 2024 presidential candidates give rise to a variety of emotions and concerns. Now, I know that plenty of people will see weakness in that perspective, but I cannot help but empathize with the people seeking to find a better life for their family. It is something that I, too, am seeking on a daily basis for my household. But even I must admit that those emotions are not based in reality at the moment. We have found ourselves in an unprecedented moment in American history where the state of the border is characterized by chaos, ineffective policies, a massive humanitarian crisis, and to be frank, far too much evil for me to stomach. My heart breaks for the children and the vulnerable who are risking everything while seeking a solution for their lot in life. My jaw clenches and my fists form at the thought of the nefarious and disgusting acts of crime that are currently taking place and taking advantage of people in their moments of desperation. To find a solution to these issues will require a monumental balance of compassion and security. I honestly don't know if any candidate truly has the best solution for the circumstances. While I plan on voting for RFK Jr., I can honestly say that I think his current border policy is far too weak to win the election. You see, RFK Jr. believes in tall walls and wide gates. It is true that we are a nation built upon a foundation of immigration, and that is embedded within our DNA and culture. However, we are also a nation of laws that must be respected and followed. He wants to reassert control over the border through the use of technology and physical barriers to enhance security. He also states that there is, quote, no need to build a wall across the entire 2,000-mile border. Now, I understand that there are areas along our border that are already formidable due to the natural landscape, but this statement leaves far too much room for ambiguity. Exactly how many miles will not require a border wall? Where will those points be? And what makes him so certain that these points without walls will not be targeted in the future by desperate people putting their lives in danger? For me, this policy reads more along the lines of tall walls, wide gates, and gaping holes in between. That is not a strong enough policy to win him this election. I believe that border security will be the deciding factor in who eventually wins the upcoming election. It is incredibly apparent to me that Biden's camp is losing that debate. As archaic as it sounds, the desire for a true border wall is gaining momentum because of what it represents. Biden was quick to abandon the effort put forth by Trump's administration in this regard, and they even went out of their way to remove and dismantle some of the safeguards that our tax-paying dollars already put in place. And where has that gotten us? Well, the news headlines aren't difficult to find. The frustrated conversations are heard nearly everywhere, and citizens such as myself are fleeing a party that they can no longer take serious. If RFK Jr. wants to win, this is not a topic that he can take the middle ground on. We either have a border wall or we don't. It can either withstand subsequent presidential administrations or it won't. We need a durable, lasting decision that cannot be manipulated at the whims of politicians pretending to have our best interests at heart. Furthermore, I am no longer buying into the idea that a wall is too financially crippling to the budget. Congress recently decided to send $60 billion in military aid to Ukraine. We spend nearly $1 trillion a year on our defense budget, and we are spending untold millions on social services for people entering the United States illegally. The money is there. It is just a question of whether or not we are going to make the decision to actually use the money for the benefit of the American people. I understand that RFK Jr. believes in using his manpower to address immigration concerns. As stated on his website, he believes that, quote, we have to fully fund courts, services, and border agencies to allow lawful immigration in accordance with U.S. law and deny non-compliant access, and appoint more judges to handle asylum cases. Well, that is all well and good, but it doesn't truly impact the issue at hand before it starts. A wall stands as a physical and mental deterrent to potential illegal immigration. It also saves lives. Gaping holes in a wall will always be an incentive in driving the efforts of illegal immigration. Whether or not they are manned by border personnel or would require an ill-advised and dangerously difficult journey through a harsh and unforgiving desert, people will always choose to try. That's what desperation does. A message needs to be sent that the wall exists. It is formidable, and it cannot be overcome regardless of the journey that you take. Now, I realize all of this talk opens me up to any number of accusations. I assure you, I wholeheartedly believe in strengthening and even expanding legal immigration. I work in an industry that has been distinctly shaped and made better through the extremely valuable efforts of immigrants. And I believe our population, economy, and industry are in far better shape when immigration is managed with open arms and strict policy. I believe in tall walls and wide gates. I believe it's a great policy, but it shouldn't just be a slogan. In order for it not to be just a slogan, it must be completely adhered to in order for it to work. For the sake of my children's future, I desperately hope that RFK Jr. can win this upcoming election. In order for him to do so, he simply cannot wade in the shallow end of the pool. He must dive into the deep end head first and give the people what they really want. And even though I can't believe I'm saying it, what the people really want is a giant 2,000-mile wall along the southern border.